We have a special guest in the house. We got a couple guests today. Good morning. Let's see who we got checking in. Good morning.
Hey, morning there.
What's your
Buenos
name?
días, good morning.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Hi, it's Toni here.
And Chris.
Tony and Chris, how you guys doing?
Oh, awesome.
Oh, great.
You guys are morning
Cold
people.
morning,
but
right?
You're smiling.
Thanks to you, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Well, what do you mean cold morning? You should get used to it. You're from Ukraine. You're
6 years away from home. I haven't seen anything that cold.
Really?
You know.
Okay, Chris, where are you from?
I'm from Cuba.
You're from... Oh, my God. Chris should be complaining.
Yes, it was his first snow. Actually,
Yeah.
2 days ago, it was his first snowball.
Where'd you guys go to see a snowball?
Shaklawa.
Ah.
It was great.
How was it?
That was a bless.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
First
It
time
was a very cold bless.
you saw snow for the first time. That's so cool. Okay, Tony, so you are a singer, and Chris, you're a guitar and also vocalist, right?
Saxophone player as well.
Also saxophone player. So you seem to have long history in the music industry, right? I mean, this isn't something you just learned last year. Tell me about your story. Tell me, how did you come to the music world? Tony?
Well, my story started when I was 3.
3 years old.
So yeah, my grandma, she taught me how to sing, and she kind of enjoyed showing me to the neighbors.
Okay. Like, look at my granddaughter.
that was
She knows
it.
how to sing.
So pretty much this and that.
What would you sing when you were a kid?
Well, Ukrainian folk songs, what could I do?
Okay. Okay. And where was this? In Kiev or in a village? Where was this?
Well, my grandma was in another town, so that's where I was visiting her. But yeah, mostly in Kiev, yeah.
Mostly in Kiev. So you would sing with grandma, and then how you say grandma in Ukrainian?
Babusa.
Babusa. Yes. So babusa taught you, hey, sing this song, or hey, sing that song. She would teach you the words, and then you would sing it. And then until when? What happened when you became a teenager? Did you go to school for it?
Well, I was attending, like workshops and how do you call that? Classes.
Okay.
And I was singing in a quartet. How would you call that?
Oh, like a choir?
For girls singing. So.
Yeah.
But then I decided I should just give it up for guitar. It's time to become black metalist and stuff.
So you started thinking about just doing guitar?
Yes, and I went to study classic guitar. And I stopped singing. But then when I studied guitar, I started composing. And then I went back to playing my music, and I had a live band in Ukraine. It was a great time.
That's the beauty about music. It's like a journey. You start in one place, but you don't know where you will end up.
You don't know where you're into.
Yeah. So then, you went to college, you said, for classical guitar, but then
Right.
you started doing all these different things. Where did you go to college at? In Ukraine?
Well, it was not a college. There was a music school, actually.
Yeah.
Well, it was a conflict in a conflict. I couldn't allow myself to be a musician in Ukraine. It seemed like a bad plan.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because I started late in a way, like kind of professionally.
And it's too hard? Like,
Yeah, in Ukraine you have to start when you're 7 or 5.
7 or 5.
You start with a violin or piano, and then you're in conservatory, and basically, it's, like that sophisticated music.
Yeah.
And I was more into jazzy stuff, and so it seemed like a bad plan in Ukraine. And I had like this inner conflict for a while. I was working as a journalist, translator, all of that stuff, composing my stuff. And then at some point, I just realized I have to do what my heart tells me to do. It was a very hard transition,
and your heart told you to do what? Start singing again?
Music!
Music. Well, you always did music, it seems like, but like you
Yes,
went back
but-
to vocalist.
Yeah, but you always had it was not something that I earned with, it was my passion.
It was a hobby.
Yeah, my passion.
So you wanted to make it a job.
Yeah.
Then you said you made a band, a live band in Ukraine for yourself? And you started playing in places?
Yeah, festivals.
What was the name of the band?
Oh, Tisha Kids.
Tisa Kids? What does that mean?
Silent kids.
Silent Kids. Oh.
Which was not true.
I don't believe that.
Wow, that's the opposite.
We were very naughty people.
So you played with Silent Kids across Ukraine.
Right.
And then when was it the first time you lived outside of Ukraine? When did you leave Ukraine?
You mean leaving for work?
Leaving for work, yes, not for vacation.
Not for travel. Well,
Yeah.
I was 25, 26, something like that.
25, 26.
Ouch.
Where did you move to?
So actually, my first contract was in Egypt.
Okay.
That was an adventure.
In the capital.
No, it
Oh
was
my
in
God.
Sharm el Sheikh.
Oh, Sharm el Sheikh. Okay, so that's fun.
Yeah, it was. And actually, I went alone. And it was kind of scary, you know?
Why?
Because I never worked alone as a musician. I always had a band, you know, when you have your crew with you
Yeah.
and you're just having fun, it's different.
Okay, so you did Egypt, and then from there, where'd you move to?
Actually, that was from there.
That was the key. That was the key. She
Yeah,
found
I
the key
went
for
to Bahrain, and actually that's where I met Chris.
2012.
Yeah, and since then we're just working together.
So then you go to Bahrain in 2012. What
Yeah.
made you go to Bahrain? What told you, that's interesting, that's a nice opportunity. What happened?
Oh, can you imagine? It's Ukrainian winter. I'm there composing my stuff with my piano out of tune, and then suddenly an agent says, "You know what? We really need a person, and you're the only available in the area." Actually, of course, they were looking for a Latin person. Chris here is from Cuba,
Yeah.
but I was the cheapest to fly in. That's how I won.
Okay. So they needed what, like a singer and a...
Just for a few months to
few
replace
months.
someone.
to replace someone.
Yes.
So you went to Bahrain.
Yes.
Explain to me Bahrain, how was it?
Oh. That was a cultural shock in the beginning, but
Yeah.
you know, we spent there 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
What was your favorite thing about Bahrain?
Oh, the community is great.
People are nice?
Yes, people are nice, and once they kind of open their door to you, you're in a big family.
How did you handle the heat though? I can imagine how hard it is.
Well, in the beginning, you just go out in the summer, your clothes are just like sticks on you, all sweaty.
I don't want to
Yeah.
feel that. Please, winter don't go away.
Over time, you learn. You don't go out in the summer.
But that's like 12 hours in the day.
Yeah, no, but you just jump from a room to a car, from car to another room. You know, you just learn not to expose yourself to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
You got used to, you adapted, and then from Bahrain, you came straight to Erbil?
No, went to Oman in Salalah, close
Okay.
to Yemen.
Okay.
We were working with another Cuban musician there, which was also great. It was
So you,
amazing.
Oman, you did a few years, kind of similar to Bahrain, the Khaliji culture, and then from there
And from here, right?
to Erbil.
Yes.
When did you move to Erbil?
Actually, just 5 months ago.
5 months ago. Okay, I'll get back to you in terms of your style of music. Now I need to get to talk to Chris. Chris, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
Chris, you're from Cuba. You know how special you are.
Well,
We need to put you in like a museum because Cubans are special.
thanks.
Which part of Cuba are you from?
Well, I was born in the east of the country, in Holguín.
Okay.
Then when I was 12 years old, my mom decided, thanks God she decided,
Yeah.
to move to Matanzas. It's very close to Havana, to the capital. There is a special beach that is international. It's Varadero, called Varadero, one of the more famous around the world. So, yeah, we moved there when I was 12 years old. And suddenly, I started studying like a technological school, not connected to music. I met a guy there once that his grandfather decided to start a band.
Yeah.
And then from that point, I started to involve myself in this community as a musician.
It's not very hard to get into music in Havana,
No,
huh?
at
Because
all.
this is what I heard from Gozde, but this is one thing we learned from El Fasolia is that Havana is a music center.
Actually, the whole Cuba is it is.
It is.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
What did you do first? Did you start it when you said when I got into it? Did you learn to play the guitar right away or
No. I've been playing guitar in simple way since I was 5-6 years old.
Okay, you already knew about the
in
guitar.
my old town in
That's
the park.
crazy.
Because
5,
all my
6
family, the way in Cuba is that in the weekends they get together, they put a bottle of Havana Club,
Yeah.
around Havana Club, a couple of guitars, and all the family, and they make a family party.
Make a
So I
party.
grew up in this music ambience.
So every family they make a small party in the weekend together,
Most of 10 years.
and every family needs to have a guitar player.
Yeah.
You need a lot of guitar players in Cuba.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you grew up in this culture, and then tell me how you got influenced in terms of music, because Cuba is very diverse. Which direction did you go to?
Well, I go with the traditional Cuban music, like, for example, Buena Vista Social Club, Compay Segundo, this kind of traditional music, like a song, salsa, but all style.
Yeah.
Guajira, that's why the name Guajira Guantanamera is one of the famous songs. When I was, as I told you, when I was 16 years old, I started to involve myself between playing one by ear, because I didn't study music, I didn't go to school. So I play by ear.
He's a self-taught musician.
So yeah,
No,
right away.
I don't know how to read music, so I play by ear.
Wow.
So when I met that guy, that his grandfather wants to
Yeah.
start the band, so I got in touch with them. I start to learn this special Cuban guitar, and from that point I start to perform once, twice a week. That was a time that I couldn't handle between the school and the band.
So what happened?
So I decided to quit the school.
Wow.
That was a big decision. My mother wanted to kill me.
Wow.
But she support me a lot, thanks God. So she told me, "Are you sure you want to do that?" Yeah, I want to do that. I want to be a musician, but in professional way. So I start to perform 3 times, 4 times a week in hotels,
Yeah.
tourist hotels in Varadero, since I was 16, 17 years old. And until now, it's the only thing that I did in my life.
When was the first time you left Cuba?
In 2010, I went to Jordan.
So, and you were like part of this whole difficulties of Cuba, let's say, when you couldn't travel anywhere until 2010.
There were just few lucky ones that they have the opportunity to go.
Tell me about that. I just real quick. How was it like living under Fidel Castro until 2010? Like where you were in an island and that was it. How did that influence you as a personality?
Well, it depends on the mentality of anyone, and it depends how you deal with any situations. You know.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody have the wish, the dreams to develop and go.
Yeah.
But I think that most of the people in Cuba, what they prefer is to be focused in. I mean, personally, me, I prefer to be focused by that time in what I've been doing, my music, my friends. We have a lot of fun together. We prepare a lot of projects, and then wherever the opportunity will come, welcome.
So now
We do
it's easy to
Actually,
for
yes.
Cuban people, like any Cuban
actually,
can go and come back without having connection.
We having. I mean, they request like everywhere. If you go to some country, they will request you the visa that you needed, of course.
Yeah.
But the government, as a government, doesn't stop you.
Government
anymore.
has changed big then.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it was a blessing for many.
And of course, that opened opportunities for you to go internationally.
Of course.
2010, you went to Jordan.
Yeah, we went.
Why?
We used to work with a Jordanian agency, Cuban. So he has a contract with Cuba. Company, music company. Sorry.
Okay.
Then he made we signed a contract for a year in Jordan in Dead Sea, through this company.
In the Dead Sea.
In the Dead Sea, yeah. Holiday
Wow.
in Dead Sea, actually.
Okay.
Very cold Amman, by the way. The capital is very cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then from that point we moved to Egypt, Sharm el-Sheikh. 1 year more. From Egypt we went back to Amman again, to Jordan for 2-3 months, and then I decided to see something different. So the agency proposed us. By that time we were a duo. They proposed us to go to Bahrain.
Bahrain.
We have this opportunity in Bahrain, at Sofitel Bahrain. The person who used to work with me, we have the duo. We made 1 year contract. She has to go back to Cuba for family situation, and then that's the point that I met.
You met Toni.
We need a singer. Yeah, I need a singer to finalize the contract.
Yeah.
And then this agency that we were connected,
They found her.
And
So then you guys just felt like you were the perfect connection, musically, and it flows well.
Yeah.
In Bahrain, and then you played together in Bahrain for how many years?
5.
5 years.
5 years.
My God! And then now you're here, Erbil Payam checking in. He says, "Good morning, beautiful Toni. For you, Chris Habibi, Toni, you two amazing humans indeed. Toni, especially you. You're all I need." Payam loves you. You guys know Payam.
Oh, Payam.
Payam's
Big
always
hug, man.
He's always celebrating life, Payam.
I know.
Okay, so then you guys find your way to Erbil. You two are from, 2 different worlds, Latin America and Eastern Europe. Do you miss your home when you are waking up every day here and going to work here?
I'd say, like, in my case, I don't know about you. I've realized that I'm just universal gypsy. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Some people are just made to move, and I feel at home on the road in a way, not like maybe constantly moving, but just seeing different things. And actually, when you work in this kind of industry, you meet a lot of likewise people, so it's a huge family, and in the end you meet same kind of people.
Well, what about you, Chris?
No, well, imagine I left Cuba in 2010.
Yeah.
And I came back in 2018. I was 8 years away from Cuba. I don't say that I don't miss. I was missing a lot my mother, my brother, my family.
Yeah.
But I decided to get this road in the long way.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And yes, well, I was quite shocked for me when I come back after 7 years. When I see that the country was in the same situation after 7 years that I left in 2010. It was the same. It doesn't change. And then, yeah, when I left now to Erbil, yes, in the beginning I miss my mother, my brothers, but I get used. I am very gypsy as well, so I'm very adaptable.
You
everywhere.
left in 2010, went for the first time in 2018, 8 years.
Yeah.
Cuba has changed a lot in those 8 years?
Not really.
Really?
No, not really.
Because we're hearing
Why?
that there's a big
internet
change now.
Ah, well, yes.
Actually, Chris invited me to go to Cuba last summer, so I joined him there, and he showed me around a bit. We had adventures there.
How was
Yeah,
it? Did you have fun?
Oh yeah,
Lots of fun. It's
Yeah.
Cuba. How could you not have fun?
it is. But you see, that's my point. You know, it is so much fun, but it's in a completely different way that people imagine.
Yeah.
So it's still fun. You really have to readjust your brain for
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
adventure. It's like an experience. It's not like a cruise, when
Yeah.
you're just like everything just falling you into your hands.
No.
It's a challenging environment.
You have to find it.
You have to find the fun.
You have to find it.
Okay, that sounds very exciting. Tell me about Erbil now. You guys, you've made this place your home for 5 months.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience so far here. Talk to me about Erbil.
It's amazing, actually. For me, it's amazing. It's very hummy. I feel like I found a place that I could be here for such a long time.
Yeah,
For
say-
6 months.
Yeah,
For
don't
6 months. This is the first.
for
Okay, our
gypsies,
more.
for a gypsy, 6 months is a lot.
It's a lot.
No, like a year is good, 2 is great.
Yeah, maybe more.
The third one
Ah,
is
well,
usually that's when you
we
start.
made 5
like,
years in Bahrain, so we
getting itchy
can
feet.
easily make 2 years more here. So.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about Erbil, Toni?
For me, I like that the natural sites are so close by. I'm kind of more like a nature person.
Yeah.
So if I can get out somewhere, for hiking and
Yeah.
see beautiful sights, for me it's like,
And you do that here?
yeah.
So you leave Erbil to the north
we
a lot?
could do it more because we were just kind of settling in and getting used to it. So now we kind of start checking out the places when it's cold, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Great timing. But yes, that's what I like. And the other great thing I find is the community also.
The people.
Yes,
Yeah, we
the
find
people.
great people.
I think we hear that a lot. People telling us, all our visitors here, they say the thing that makes Erbil the most special thing about it in Kurdistan region and Iraq as a whole. The first thing they say is the people, because
It's warm.
we're different here. We're like,
Yeah.
hey, you want to be my friend? Let's be
Yeah.
friends.
You are
know,
quite Latino.
Yeah,
We have
exactly.
something in common.
Yeah, but Latinos, when they say, hey, you want to be friends, they start dancing like, hey, you want to be friends? We're like, hey, we have some chai. Come sit next to us. Let's
Some
get
food
together.
we have.
That's
Some food. We have lots of food.
Yeah, yeah.
There's so much food. Yeah. So tell me about your style in music. You, Toni, you said you first started as classical, jazz, and then you end up Latino.
Yeah, actually.
What happened?
Well, I met Chris there.
Just like that?
Actually,
That's my fault.
no, actually, I think it started a bit earlier. So I was playing jazz nights in a Latin club in Kiev, in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And there I got introduced to Latin music, to Cuban music in particular. And
Who was there? Who was there? There were no Cubans in Ukraine.
oh, there are.
There
are
were?
s- There are
Oh,
quite
yeah.
some, yeah.
Okay.
So there's just Latin club, and there was this great guy, my friend, Nelson.
Nelson.
Yes, he's done lots of jobs in his life, but he came to Ukraine to work as an IT engineer and ended up a singer and an owner of a
Wow.
Latin club, which was called Buena Vista Latin Club. So yes, that's where I got introduced, and from the first song that I heard, I was just like, wow, this is great. And actually he was playing with Ukrainian musicians, so he was teaching them to play Latin music, which was great. And I have these pictures where I stand in my jazz dress, and behind me there's Cuban flag with Cuban star right behind my head. It was like,
Wow.
yeah, Yeah, that was meant to
That was
be.
good.
It was all
Good feeling,
Cuba.
good feeling.
Yeah, so, and then I met Chris. So I was actually a jazz singer when I met Chris. And we just started exchanging our experiences.
Yeah, actually, it was amazing.
He wasn't a jazz musician. I wasn't a
Most of the time,
Latino
yeah.
singer, but we started like sharing our styles, and that's how it goes. Now we're like also dancing. That's our big thing, and actually we're very grateful to Erbil for that, because we work in Rotana Hotel, and that's where we host Friday salsa nights, Latin nights, and there is a dancing community coming there every Friday, which is amazing.
It makes performing a lot better, right?
Yeah, and so
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
we kind of turned more into like party Latin.
Yeah.
We're like dancing all the time, and that's also a kind of fun part to it.
Okay, so I'm seeing the vibes already coming from you guys. So can we get an example? Can we get a performance? I know it's very morning, and musicians always tell hate. And no, don't tell me to
I
sing.
have a
something.
voice.
It's a voice. I
It's
just
minus
woke up.
3.
Yeah, but is it possible if we can get a little small performance from you guys? What would you want to play?
Because last time with Gosda we played like more Cuban stuff. We
Yeah.
wanted to play some covers maybe.
Great. What do you have in
If
mind?
Chris remembers any of my songs, we
I
can
will,
play a
yeah.
part of it.
Okay.
Let me just put the guitar. I don't know if you can
And
hear
just
the
cough
guitar.
off. Morning.
So what we're gonna hear right now?
Walking on the Moon. That's gonna be Walking on the Moon
Alright, okay, on the moon.
by Sting.
Oh, okay. Walking on the Moon by Sting. This is Toni and
Chris.
Chris.
Giant steps of what we take, walking on the moon. I just hope my legs won't break, walking on the moon. Yeah, we could walk forever, walking on the moon. Oh yeah, we could be together, walking on the moon. Yeah. Walking back from your house, walking on the moon, I said. Walking back from your house, walking on the moon. My feet, they hardly touch the ground, walking on the moon. My feet, they hardly make a sound, walking on the moon. And some may say, we're wishing our days away. But no way, no. If it's the price we must pay. Some say, oh, they say, tomorrow's another day. You stay, might as well play. It's a part of it. We need that record. I mean, we need that clap record for our shows.
That was really good. Good. That was amazing, you guys. When you guys play live, is it just Latino, or do you guys do covers like this?
We do covers. We do jazz. So basically, we have playback, and Chris plays saxophone.
Ah.
Or sometimes he plays sax. I play jazz guitar.
What do you enjoy more? What do you enjoy more, Chris? Saxophone or the guitar?
Saxophone as well. of course.
Why?
Well, I always was in love with this instrument. Actually, it's funny. I got the saxophone 7 years ago on my own in Cuba. I tried many times in my home. The neighbors, they want to kill me. Actually, yeah, it was like that. And when I left Cuba in 2010, I get the saxophone with me. I got the saxophone with me. I was trying some. As I told you, I don't know how to read music, so I have to go on my own without any teacher. I was checking some YouTube video, and I started to incorporate my own personality into the saxophone. Just playing a couple of instrumental songs, most of the time out of tune. And then when I met Toni in 2012, I got in love with jazz music.
Wow.
And I found myself in many ways. It's like a saxophone and we play together and we are just one. It's
That's true.
It's amazing. I feel amazing.
What's your favorite to play? It's hard for a musician to say I like this or this. I know that, but which one you have your heart just jumps higher?
Yeah.
Is it Cuban music, or is it jazz, or is it something else? Covers?
You can't really choose. It's like choosing between mountains and the sea, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just different feeling, but
You find yourself in many ways in each one.
Yeah.
And you express yourself and your feeling in different ways in each one. So it's impossible to compare.
it's actually great when you do different things because it kind of creates more balance in the personality in the show. It's great. So sometimes we would just go with jazz, then we start playing covers, then we do something like Despacito.
And we jump from one jazz to Despacito, and then you feel amazing in the same way.
Let me ask you guys a difficult question. Most people listening right now, they're going to school, they're going to work. They have normal jobs, okay? Office jobs, idara, these kind of things. It's hard for the average person to understand that what you guys are doing is a job, and it's also as important as another job. Can you defend
Explain why it's a job?
Why is it not a job, but is it as important as other job? Why are you two residents of Erbil as important as somebody who's in charge of the company of a store or the manager of an oil company? Do you realize the importance of music? And explain it to the people out there.
Yes, I would definitely support that. It is a job. Firstly, if you do it as a hobby, you don't do it every day. To do a job like this every day, you have to be every day ready, not just your voice or your skill, your playing. It's about the emotional stability that you develop to be able to do that. It's a very interesting skill to always be able, I'm sure you know about it, to be always in public.
Yeah,
and
it is difficult.
And to keep your mind positive. So basically, I think I was actually thinking about it for quite a while, for 6 years, and I came to conclusion that the more professional musician is, actually the more at ease he's at the job. Because being at ease on stage, in front of the people, when everybody's watching, and communicating with people at ease, everybody's looking at you, and maybe
it's
taking
not an easy
videos
job.
and putting them online.
Chris, what's the hardest job of a musician?
I think from my side, I think to express something that to show something to the people, because they come to you to see you performing great as always, smile and express the best of yourself. But sometimes inside of you want to kill yourself.
Wow.
You want to cry, or you have some personal situation, because also it's happening.
Yes, you can't be happy and ready to perform every time.
But the people in front of us, they don't have to pay for that, for our sadness, for our bad moments. So we have to really be strong enough and professional enough to show ourselves.
If you guys just joining us, this is Toni and Chris from Rotana. They've been here for 5 months now. They love it. From two different worlds. One from Cuba has explored the international world since 2010 after the change of government's decision. And then Toni, first starting in Ukraine, and then slowly going into the Middle East and understanding and learning the big different cultural difference, and then making Erbil her home as well. We talked about how we have direct flights from Ukraine.
Yes,
Erbil.
we do. That surprised me a lot. I was like,
Yeah.
how is it possible?
Have you done it yet? Have you used it
Actually, no. When they were getting me a ticket to Erbil, and they're like, okay, we have Turkish Airlines, and we have this new airlines called Fly Erbil. I'm trying to Google, where is this airline? It was open, I think, like 1 month before. They offered me
it was
this.
last year.
And then I look at this, it's 40 kg, it's straight from Kiev to Erbil. 3 hours, no layover. I'm like, wow.
Have you gone or not yet?
No, and they told me, you know what, it's more expensive. Just take the
Makes
Turkish.
sense.
But it's nice to go, it's nice to have the direct flights. Maybe one day we'll have direct flights from Erbil to Cuba.
Well, then it's gonna be like a 24 hours flight.
It will be 24 hours.
Yeah, imagine I flew 9 hours from Cuba to Paris,
Yeah.
and then 11 hours from Havana to Istanbul, and
11
then from
hours.
Istanbul here.
Yeah.
11 hours.
It's about half a day.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're happy.
Don't ask me how I could do that.
I do that too sometimes when I go to America. It's really difficult. It's not easy.
11 hours.
It's not. Can we get another sample, you guys? Can we hear another thing from you guys?
Sure.
Do you have something else? What's going on?
You're gonna play.
First chorus, just one, right? Not the whole song. We'll
All
just
right.
do-
As you like.
We'll
It's
just do a half.
Wallahi, it's your choice.
I hope the guitar is, the sound is okay.
It sounded really good.
Okay, that would be my song. Yes, I know sometimes too many cloudy days in a row, too many obvious lies, too many mind games, cards and promises broken with no reasons and whys. But nothing's gonna break us if we don't choose to be broken. Nothing's gonna break us if we pick the other door. Even if we drop down to the ground, decadence and drama, somehow we'll be perfectly alive. We'll be perfectly alive. Yeah. Yes, I know sometimes you can be there to hold my hand, and even if you try, it gets worse. Darling, it's okay, we will make it anyway, while we can walk on earth. Yeah, and nothing's gonna break us if we don't choose to be broken. Nothing's gonna break us if we pick the other door. Even if we drop down to the ground, decadence and drama, somehow we'll be perfectly alive. We'll be perfectly alive. There comes my -3. It's hard to do it in the morning. That's why it's a profession. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Lovely, lovely. Check them out, you guys. Toni, Chris, they are in Rotana. How many days a week do you guys play?
6. We're only off on Saturdays.
6 days.
That's amazing. I don't know how you are ready 6 days a week. That is
neither.
very impressive.
Me neither.
We wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Is there anything you want to say before we let you guys go?
We want to really thanks to you for this great opportunity.
Yeah,
We
it's
want
a
to
great
thanks
morning,
to
different-
all the
different morning.
all the community that we have, all these beautiful guys that they go to salsa on Fridays, all the salsa group, others, all the people who go to Rotana to follow our jazz music, our music. Everybody who really welcome us in very warm and friendly way here. We really have to say we appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm also very grateful for having an opportunity to learn about this country. And thank you very much for being such a welcoming nation. It's really, really nice to be here, and we're really hoping to learn more of it and travel, you know. It's cold, but we'll go hiking.
Don't worry, it's only 1 month like that. You'll be warm in no time. Well, guys, thank you so much. We're happy to have you guys as part of our community. Thank you for making Erbil your home. Good luck with everything. May everything you wish happen, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you,
so
Noor.
much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so
Have
much.
a great day.